Hello everybody, welcome back, and this is Stefan playing Stellaris, and today we're going to continue on our series with episode 5 of the Purifier Grand Admiral Challenge. Let's begin. So the plan for today is quite simple. I build up my fleet somewhat, start taking over these territories with the ancient mining drones on them, finish claiming all the territory I can, and start building up a defense force right over here. If I have the time, I will declare war and wait for the pacifists to come at me, so that their fleet gets destroyed and I can easily invade and take over all of their territory. So, let's begin. Alrighty, we have found Limbo. The signal originates from the remnants of an antenna-like structure. Exploratory probes were dispatched from ISS Diligent to the surface to investigate the matter more closely. What Science Officer Masume Madini found was a cavernous vault that, while easily pried open, was evidently the last safe house and refuge of some long-dead race of aliens. While reasonably technologically advanced, it seems that they never reached the stars and perished in some planet-wide natural disaster. The vault is immense, housing thousands upon thousands of black boxes that the ISS Diligent has determined to be data storage devices. A special project has been prepared to decode their contents.
Situation log updated. Special project complete.
The vault is a tomb for hopeful immortals. Science Officer Masume Madini asserts that a huge block of Terranary code found in the databanks are neural images, digitized brain scans. Doubtlessly, the aliens of Gitana 5 considered this to be their only shot at any kind of survival following whatever calamity befell this planet. They did not have the means to resurrect themselves, but banked on the impossibly small hope that eventually someone else would have these means. Since I'm not planning to go down the robot path, I will just let them lie and get the extra 150 engineering points. Alright, so after doing the crystalline entity project, we have found out that they're unbreakable. The crystalline entities are proudly alive. Perhaps more descriptive name for them is silicate animate matter, as they have little in common with biological or traditionally artificial life. The entities do not seem to mate, and we have yet to observe any crystals that are recognizably older or younger than the others. Contrary to an early hypothesis, the shifts in the hue between the individual crystalline entities seem to be related not to their age but due to their latent internal charge, which can be violently unleashed, and it appears as though the sporadic fluctuations in this charge alter the refractive properties of the crystal. So we can either get crystal-infused plating, or we can get an extra 5% bonus to energy credits. Since I'm not really a big fan of increasing hull points for my ships, I'm just going to go for extra energy. So right now I'm in the process of researching some of the precursor anomalies, and so I see no point in actually reading this little blurb out, and I'll just focus on reading out the final special project thing. So I have found a First League artifact. Our archaeological mission to the First League naval base has concluded. We recovered the emblem of the 28th Outer Rim Patrol Fleet, mid-sized task force charged with the defense of trade routes leading to the League Associate Nations along the Galactic Rim. The base orbiting Wiederham 10 was apparently their home port. So normally I would go for Bulwark of Harmony, but considering the fact that our neighbors are actually pacifists and there's no way they're going to initiate war on us, I'm actually going to go for the Utopian Dream this time. And so for now we're getting the greater good. Awesome, now we can go for planetary capital. So this will allow us to actually use up our influence once we're done expanding, which will be quite shortly actually.
Technology secured.
Awesome, now our inhibitors are up and running. At this point I'm going to go for some improved deflectors. So what I've learned is that you can actually take this xenophobic isolationist label on the AI, go to the wiki page, find xenophobic isolationists on the wiki page, and then see their balance. We know that they're going to focus on shields and they're going to have guided weapons. That means for an optimal war, we're going to go for point defense as well as kinetic weapons. However, I'm not sure how well this works with AI mods enabled, but hopefully it stays around the same level. And so we have discovered living metal once again. Detailed surface scans of PEL 5A had identified a large impact crater containing the wreckage of several ancient starships of unknown design. The ships appeared to be completely devoid of life support systems, leading it to suspect that they were either unusually large drones or controlled by some form of artificial intelligence. Interestingly, the hull of the ship's constructed out of living metal, an exceedingly rare and inorganic material with many unique properties. This metal can be programmed to assume a certain shape or form, and will slowly regrow itself if damaged. Over a period of several millennia, the surviving metal from the wrecked ships was fused into a large and extremely dense deposit that could potentially be mined for centuries to come. Fascinating. I think this is the point where we can actually research it. And yes, we can, except it's going to cost us very, very large amounts of research.
Technology secured.
Modular engineering does seem to be quite interesting. However, as I said before, since this empire will be using a majority of guided weapons, going for something like flag batteries is the best option. Alright, now we have communications with the artists. A visitor, this is a joyous occasion indeed. Oh, forgive my manners. I believe introductions are in order. We are the artisan troupe. Our members have dedicated their lives to the pursuit of art, music, culture, and all other things that makes existence bearable to a sapient being. Please, if you would like to share the wonder of our creations, do not hesitate to contact us. I can't imagine butterflies making good art. Scum.
Technology secured.
Excellent, now we got our deflectors. So now, might as well go for a fusion reactor.
Technology secured.
Alrighty, now we got our flag batteries. So I suppose plasteel armor is the way to go for now. Oh no, seismic disturbances. There have been many reports of unexplainable seismic disturbances on the abyssal shield. Tremors can be felt across the planet and many of our settlements have suffered damage. While investigating the earthquakes, our scientists discovered a vast network of subterranean caverns. The deepest of these caverns are home to some kind of indigenous civilization, and they appear to be tunneling towards the surface. Ground vibrations from our settlements may have triggered this behavior, but we cannot be certain. There's no telling how these aliens will react when they spill out of their tunnels and encounter our colonists. We have to deal with this.
Situation log updated.
So we can either do a preemptive strike or establish communications, but since we don't deal with Xenos, we're doing a strike.
Special project complete.
Our efforts to destroy the subterranean aliens of the abyssal shield have met with success. We have managed to collapse several of their tunnels on top of their workers, and the caverns that house their cities have been flooded with nerve gas. Casualty projections are close to 100%, and our security forces are confident that they will be able to deal with any surviving stragglers. Compliments to all service branches involved. Guess we just gassed them. A light show. Science Officer Masumi Madini reports that a luminous waves coursing through the ice on the blanket of Chaplet 8 is of alien origin. Some ancient battle has deposited scattered wreckage of an alien fighter on the frozen planet, and only the exposed core of the main weapons remains intact. It seems that the alien race used lasers fairly similar to the ones currently in use by the Mistral fleets, and the fizzling innards periodically discharge low-power lasers to the ice of the Chaplet 9. The planet's harsh climate prevents the lasers from actually melting the ice, allowing the chilly matrix to act as a brilliant prism. How fascinating. Alright, now we actually can get the utopian dream. Let's build some paradise domes. Now, I do like the fact that the paradise domes are actually more efficient than the hydroponics farms I'm actually using.
Construction complete.
On the shoulders of giants. It appears that the asteroid T1T9109D and the surrounding debris originate from a former planet. Deep within the center of the asteroid we can find traces of extremely valuable minerals. There are also hints of bacterial life that has now died in the vacuum of space. This shows us that the celestial body once bore the promise of life. And we get 5 minerals out of it. We also have a mining machine. Deep within a crevice of the giant asteroid 333PU46, we have found something astonishing. There is a mining gear attached to the rock, digging itself into the vast depths of the asteroid. It stands abandoned, with no sign of who placed it there. If we can stop the machine, we might be able to learn something about the technology used to build it, but we must hurry before a random debris crushes it. Now let's try to stop it. I'm pretty sure you get some mining tech out of that.
Technology secured.
And now we can get a planetary capital going. At this point, I think I'm going to go for some interstellar fleet traditions, and hopefully I can get that up and running before the war starts.
Special project complete.
Another League artifact. The archaeological expedition to the First League cruiser orbiting Wilhelm 9 has returned. Little of use can be found on the ruined vessel, but the archaeologists did manage to recover the crew manifest. First League called upon all of its member worlds to staff the Grand Navy, their joint Starfleet, and through this manifest we have learned that the crew of this particular cruiser was made up of individuals from 12 different species. We managed to stop the excavator before it broke down. It's a remarkable piece of machinery with a smooth surface covered in diamonds. At first glance, the whole drill seemed like one solid piece, but it's simply so well put together that you cannot notice the grooves or joints. Our engineers will be able to reverse engineer some of this technology. Now we get deep core mining that's going to be available forever. And we get machinery inside an asteroid. As suspected, the asteroid QI-778-0909 holds within it a great mass of metal and doesn't need to hide some manner of machinery. The gathered data clearly shows that its constituent part contains great qualities of stored energy, but its purpose remains unknown. So we can either proceed carefully or probe it. I think I'm going to err on the side of caution and proceed carefully. And it's a Trojan asteroid. Caution proved well in order. Hidden inside QI-778-0909 was a host of old mining drones programmed to attack on sight. Science Officer Vasily Kolosov fortunately detected this early and was able to jam the drone sensors long enough to disable them. The drone's cores are all they need, but retain vast amounts of energy for siphoning. Excellent. And so on the Abyssal Shield, we have found gold. Prospectors have ventured into some of the deeper tunnels that once belonged to the now dead subterranean aliens on the Abyssal Shield. They have finally discovered the long-rumored gold mines where it was believed that the underground alien empire acquired its large reserve of precious metals. Excellent. And another League artifact. The archaeological mission to Mestros 4 has uncovered evidence of what appears to be a failed escape attempt of some distance south of the prison complex. A toppled utility vehicle from the prison was found beside the small cliff, and several kilometers beyond that, the remains of several prisoners in stolen pressure suits were huddled together. They seem to have died of asphyxiation when the oxygen supply in their suits ran out. For whatever reason, the prison authorities evidently saw no reason to collect the bodies. Alright, so for Alien Barracks, the special project will actually add military expertise to the scientists researching it. So I'm going to assign a scientist that's not this guy, and hopefully get a 3-trait scientist or something. And so now that we do the actual Alien Barracks special mission, my scientist is now going to get the expertise in military technology. This is quite curious. So we're xenophobic AF, and we're supposed to go ahead and pick up some xenos? What is this? I mean, there's no reason to not gather the specimens, but I still don't understand why we would want to do that.
Technology secured.
Alright, we got our armor, and now we can go for some cruisers. Having cruisers will really put us over the edge in the coming conflict with the Empire of Terathnios. And so I'll want to research that as soon as possible. Alright, we found another empire, the Aswani League. Let's see where they are. Well, first thing first, they're pacifists, which is ridiculous already. Second thing, they're going to be the next ones we face, so that's also going to be interesting. We also know for sure that they're not the ones hanging around by the Heat Gem Guardians. I don't understand. I have not generated any species before this playthrough. Like, in fact, I've never actually played Pacifist before, so there's no reason why Pacifist would spawn more than usual. So this is the second playthrough where I've had 2 Pacifists spawn, and this is kind of getting out of hand. Those heretical aliens, they better watch themselves. Also, I really don't see why I've actually discovered the abandoned gateway, even though they've not done anything yet. Maybe they traversed this wormhole and that's why? Yeah, I suppose that's probably it. Anyways, an ancient subspace gateway has been located near Zoltar's Maw. It appears to have been built entirely by microscopic nanites of an unknown design. This particular gateway shows signs of having been altered at some point after its initial construction. Its connection to the rest of the network has been severed. Instead, the only valid destination is an uncharted group of stars just beyond our galaxy that has been designated the L Cluster by our astronomers. Although the gateway emits a faint power signature, it has been deliberately locked into some kind of maintenance loop that prevents its activation. Until we find some way of aborting this process, the L Cluster will remain beyond our reach. I don't actually know whether or not there's just one L gate or multiple in the universe, but seemingly we're going to have to fight our way through 2 empires to actually get to it. I am not going to rush the L gate. That is not within my priority, but I do really want to get to see what's in it. Especially considering the fact that this cluster of stars is probably the L gate. Actually, no, this is not going to be the L gate because this system has a hyperlane leading to here, so it simply can be. So I guess this is just a very oddly generated cluster of stars. Regardless, I'll have to keep this on my mind. They have their borders open. What? No, not anymore. Never mind.
Special project complete.
So we have found, once again, an Ancient League artifact. Our archaeologists have successfully excavated several starship holes on the surface of Arik 3, relics from the massive space battle that took place in the system 2 million years ago. The forces involved were the 2nd and 3rd fleets of the First League Grand Navy, fighting to contain an incursion by the combined fleets of the Rikim, a nomadic warrior species from the Galactic Rim. What began as a minor skirmish quickly escalated into a running fleet battle involving hundreds of ships on both sides. It is impossible to tell which side won. Interesting. Maybe they're part of the reason why the League fell apart. Oh no! A forest fire! A forest fire caused by lightning on the Abyssal Quarry created somewhat akin to a stampede among the planet's wandering forests. Their wild panic brought them into areas that are previously avoided, resulting in widespread damage to the colony's terrain. I guess the 2 farms will suffer from it. The colony as a whole will not.
Technology secured.
Alright, now I get our fleet logistics office. At this point, I believe it's best to go for extra naval capacity, and once this is researched, we max out our fleets and go to war. I mean, actually, I can probably just take them on right here, right now. Let's see. So, 3.7k fleet power. I'll just build a couple of defense platforms and declare war. So I've just queued up orders to start an army going. I'll start the invasion with 25 armies, and hopefully that should be enough.
Anomaly found.
Yay, new anomaly. Preliminary scans of the TR-4476-1 indicate that a heavily armed vessel is in orbit of the asteroid. It'd be wise to proceed with caution. Let's check this out. Alright, more traditions. We're going through traditions very fast. Much faster than I usually would. I'll go for a mind and body, and hopefully some of my leaders don't die off as fast. Nefri's Pride. The armed vessel discovered in the orbit of TR-4476-1 is an abandoned military spacecraft called Nefri's Pride. Its slight frame and evasion hardware suggests it was built for long-distance patrol missions, but has since been retrofitted into a long-range stealth bomber. Records of the ship's comms reveal it was hijacked by a rebel guerrilla on its way to platform strike against a secret complex called the Zivan Labs, said to hold a weapon so powerful it could win them the war. When they were shot down, it extracted the ship's destination from a navigational drive. I do want a powerful weapon. It's probably going to be a particle beam. I know before this update there was a sort of mission thing where they also had a super weapon, and it was a partition beam. However, it could be just a Gigo cannon, which would also be nice. So let's investigate. Oh, that's great. So the X-Ven Labs, they're actually right over here. I know they're supposed to spawn pretty close, so that means that there's a fairly good chance that this wormhole actually does lead somewhere over here. And since And since events usually don't spawn in enemy territory, that means that this area of space is open. So that's a lot of good info right here, unless I'm wrong, which I certainly could be. Alright, seems like a pretty good time to wrap up the episode. So we've somewhat consolidated our control over our own territory, eliminating most of the mining drones. We only have 2 left. We have done our job and built up these 2 systems, and I'm almost ready building up the transport ships. So once my main fleet actually reaches Alcor, I'll declare war on the Republic of Tiefnerus, and that'll be a fun episode. So I'll see you guys there. Bye bye.